Okay, so today we're going to be talking about two things. First is how do I set an optimal team lineup? And the second is what do I do about this waiver wire? What the fuck does that even mean? Let's talk about the first one first. So I'm going to go into my team. You'll see this my team roster. And I'll see my team. Nice work. First win of the season. Good points total. Very happy. And you'll start to see all of your players. Now the question is, when do I decide who to play? How do I decide who to play? Great questions. So you can start your players and you can change your lineup all the way up until their first game. So, as an example, if I fucking hate CJ Stroud and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to play him, I can decide to swap him out, but only until the game that he plays. So when he plays at Sunday 8:20 p.m., he is locked into that lineup. I can switch him out and I can say, hey, I want to play Justin Herbert as my other quarterback. Put him in there. But I want you to understand, you can only swap them out up until the game of the player. So if I decide to swap him out with Justin Herbert, I can't do that after Justin Herbert plays or after CJ Stroud plays. The earlier time here is Sunday at 1 p.m. So after Sunday at 1 p.m., I can't make this swap because the player has started playing. And if I were to swap them out, it would be with the knowledge of how they are performing. Not great. Anyways, I'll keep that. But regardless, how do I start to decide who I want to play versus who I want to have on this bench? Great question. So G talked about one strategy, which I think is great. Start active players. Perfect. Now, this week only, yeah, sure, I'm going to start my active players. All that really does is just start players that are not on a bye week or just don't have a break for that day. It doesn't really help you start your like optimal lineup. The way to start your optimal lineup, I would say, is to do a few things. One is first look at their projected points. Ideally, you want to start the players that add up to the most projected points. So if I just start quarterback, CJ Stroud has more projected points than Justin Herbert, I'll keep him. Brandon Ayuk and Jamar Chase have a pretty high amount of projected points, but actually if I look at my overall wide receivers, Cooper Kupp has the highest projected points, 15.10. I'm going to put him in as my wide receiver. Jamar Chase number 2. Saquon Barkley has a pretty high projected points for running back. And of my second running back, let's see. Oh, would you look at that? Najee Harris has a higher projected points than Devin Singletary. Of my tight ends, I don't even have a second tight end, so I got to keep him. And flex can basically mean a running back, wide receiver, or tight end. So just look at of your running back, wide receivers, and tight ends who has the highest projected points. And it is actually Brandon Ayuk, so I'm going to keep him right there. Cool. Kicker, generally won't have another kicker. Defense, you generally won't have another defense. But maybe you're thinking, oh man, as good as this team is, and as much as I like them, I don't know if this is the best possible lineup I could have. I think there's somebody who is not picked by any players that could improve my team. That's where we introduce the waiver wire. Okay, part 2.